Hey guys, today we're driving an Acura Integra and I'm with Tedward. We're actually on our way to the Grand Canyon because we were in Sedona, Arizona for the Honda Pilot launch, and we're about to hit a very interesting section of road here. We'll see our taillights here in a second, and figured we'd give some thoughts on how the Integra compares to our Type Rs, because the Type Rs are very fresh in our minds, close to our hearts, and they're our daily drivers right now. So we've been in this Integra for a few hours, a couple hundred miles almost, and there are some definite differences. And I think we can probably make some assumptions as to how the Integra Type S will be eventually. Later this spring, summer, I think it's coming out pretty soon.
It's hard to say. They'll troll us along for a while in the Acura fashion. We're
going to the Accord launch in a couple weeks, and they kind of alluded to the fact that it would be somewhat after that, so soon. I mean, the Integra is just a nicer, more luxurious SI. We've talked at length about what it is, how it drives, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, but I think some comparisons to the Type R are definitely an important thing to do. So first of all, I will say, and Tom and I both agree on this, the Integra is the car you should buy if you can't find a Civic Si, especially if you can't find a Civic Si at MSRP. I know of dozens of Integras sitting on lots right now, and I haven't really seen many SIs on lots.
Very rarely. Mine, I think, is sold.
Already, cool.
Yeah, that one's gone.
Yep. So, Tom's driven this Integra a little bit. I think the first things we noticed, sound system. The ELS system in this is really good. The Bose system in the Type R and the Civic Si are really good, but this has more bass. It's just a little bit deeper, clearer. It feels just more like a high-end audio system. Shifter, good shifter here, but clunky compared to the Type R.
I've got to say, this is like a shocking revelation.
Yeah.
It's like, it's because of comparison.
We are completely spoiled by the Type R shifter now.
Type R shifter is so good that I didn't know it could be that good, which means that I used to think like, man, this shifter is fantastic, and it is. It's just that, man, does it get better.
Yeah. And the new Type R, the shifter is just, it's next level in that car. It's really something else.
This differential is still magic.
It does a good job. It puts its power down. I still like the steering in this car.
I still like it less than, it is good. I just, man, the Type R just ratchets everything up to a dialed in position where you're like, ooh, oh, and it's like you didn't know the puzzle piece could fit that good.
Yeah.
It's like, the Type R is like when you have a puzzle and you can't even tell that there's ridges between the pieces. You think you're looking at one painting, and then someone pops it out and you go, oh my goodness, there's puzzle pieces in here. Whereas this car is like a really nice puzzle that you can see all the ridges.
That's a great analogy. The Type R is a precision instrument. And of course, the heart of the Type R is that 2-liter engine. It's just a masterpiece.
It makes everything easier because it has torque.
There's so much torque. It's so responsive. And another thing, the Integra and SI are kind of tricky to launch off the line smoothly.
They are very tricky.
As a car to drive in the city in traffic, you really have to focus and concentrate on driving it smoothly. You have to drag the clutch a little bit. Type R is so easy to drive smoothly and almost perfectly all the time. And it has a great rev match system, which you use. I don't.
I do. I'm lazy. I'm sorry.
That's not to say you can't drive the Integra and SI smoothly, but it's a little bit more challenging. It's maybe a little bit more rewarding because of that in some respects when you get it right. But the Type R, you don't even think about that. That's not even on your mind. Ride quality in the Integra is definitely a little bit softer here. And we're not even in comfort mode. We're in normal mode. I don't like the blue gauges in comfort mode though.
Neither do I.
I would do individual. Engine and sport? Probably not. And another thing we're not crazy about on the Integra is the rear trunk space. There is a really tall, what do you want to call it? Like a ridge to lift up over into the floor. The floor is super low, and
it's still higher though than the Type R, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, it's way higher. It's like waist height.
Yeah.
You have to lift your bags over, and then it's way down low to get in there. It'd probably be higher if you had like a spare tire kit or something.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that's offered in the Integra.
Also, I love having the rear wiper in the Type R.
Yeah, I'm kind of
used it, and it's been very convenient for me.
And it's almost a car that doesn't need a rear wiper. It has sedan-like angles over the rear windshield. So I don't know, what do we think about the Integra Type S? I think it's going to be a little bit softer than the Type R will be. You'll have the ELS sound system. You'll have nicer materials. Definitely heated seats. I don't know if they'll do a heated steering wheel or not. That's like a Canadian option, probably.
That would be great. I think the biggest thing, it's going to be the same argument that we've been dealing with all the peoples on the internet, where they're going to say, well, that's too expensive for a gussied up Type R with heated seats. And that's going to be the same thing. But people are going to buy it. I think people will buy it. And I think what's interesting is if Type R availability is tight, the only alternative will be to go to the Type S.
Yeah. A big win with the Integra is that there's quite a bit less road noise here than the Type R, and even a little bit less than the Civic Si. Some of that is down to insulation, some of that is down to tire choice, but it's a pretty comfortable highway cruiser, and you're going to get pretty good fuel economy in this Integra also. We're getting 33.4 miles to the gallon. Some of that was in the city earlier today, and that's without even really trying. In our Type Rs, I've struggled to get 28 miles to the gallon. It's just not as efficient of a car. 265 with tires, lowered suspension, aero, a little extra weight. It all adds up, along with the thirstier engine and getting into boost a little bit more. There's that start. Little lurch. You think you got it, and then it's not quite there.
I found the SI easier. I think the Integra is even harder than the SI. I don't know what it is.
Clutch might not be broken in as much now. I don't know.
Who knows?
Or maybe comfort mode, engine mode is different.
I've had trouble with that.
I mean, at the end of the day, the Integra and the Type R are incredibly different cars. This is a satisfying but still very mild performance car with some great bits to it. The front diff is awesome, the shifter is great, but the Type R is just this complete insane package that just delivers on every level. And we said in our initial video on the Type R that it broadens the gap between SI and Type R even more than ever before. But I think there's definitely a place for the Integra Type S, if just to give us a little bit more availability and accessibility to that platform. If Type Rs are very limited in production these next couple of years, maybe we'll see a few more Type S's. At least that's what we've seen so far with the SI compared to the Integra. And I know a lot of people who have bought Integras and they love them. They're very happy owners. It's a great daily driver. All right, we are on the other side of Flagstaff now. As you can see, it's pretty snowy. We're on what? I don't even know what kind of all-season tire the Integra has. Is it a Continental?
I think it's a Continental.
Yeah, it seems like Continental all-season. They're getting through with their mediocrity. We're getting through there. I have some steering, some braking, some acceleration. Hopefully we don't have to climb anything. We'll see.
There's not much hope if there's any legitimate inclines.
Well, generally though, the trend is down, because we need to go down the mountain into the desert to see the big hole in the ground.
Yeah, we are. It's so funny when you think about like scenic nature, because you're either going to see a big old pimple, like a mountain, or you're like, wow, what a hole.
Yep.
Look at that. And then you're like, well, back in the car.
Either way, this is so much more interesting than what we have back in Michigan, which is completely flat.
Completely flat. You could drive for hours in Michigan and you never feel like you've left the spot that you started at.
But the Integra feels pretty good in the snow. I mean, on a set of stock tires, I've felt worse. This morning there was some ice on the roads. It did okay. ABS test.
Straight line.
Straight line.
That's good.
It's okay. It's fine. It'll get us there. Traction control, zero drama.
Look, that's a road.
It was a road.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of snow. There's like good 4 feet maybe, at least. Hard to tell.
If there was a shoulder, I would say let's get some photos, but I don't want to stop here.
I'm just glad this is 2 lanes wide.
Yes.
And you can get through a lot with front wheel drive. It's not like we're perilously drifting around every straightaway like I would be in my BRZ.
No, and you're not getting that unsettled feeling when you lift off the throttle because the differentials will lock under deceleration as well as acceleration. So in the BRZ or the M3, for example, you're trying to engine brake down the hill, but when you lift an engine brake, the car will go sideways.
Sure. And at least we have 2-wheel drive instead of 1-wheel drive like we would in a lot of other front-wheel drive cars.
LSD is magical.
Yep. It's amazing to be able to go through in just a matter of an hour. We've been driving for an hour, and we've seen desert, Sedona, a little bit of snow, climbed up into the mountains. We've got a bunch of pine trees, top of the peaks, way more snow. And the thing is, you can drive through this in the middle of summer, and it's 113 degrees in Phoenix, and you come through here and there's still snow in Flagstaff. So
always learning.
Always learning. Always exploring. But we had to go to the Grand Canyon today because Tedward hasn't been, and even though it was maybe a little bit perilous, worth the risk.
I haven't said are we there yet.
Yeah. Our arrival time keeps getting pushed a little bit, but we're generally making progress. And if you just stay out of ABS slightly, you get some good braking force out of this Integra. We can downshift.
That license plate was Chuds.
Chuds?
Chuds. Which is like a movie reference that I learned about on Archer.
Ah. So I guess at this point this has turned into more than just a Integra versus Type R video. We're at the entrance of the Grand Canyon. It's been pretty snowy the last 80 miles or so. Finally just got traction. Woo!
Oh, the Integra just got smooth.
It did. Yeah, we've been driving on washboarded ice for the last 30 miles, and it's been a little rough, but every now and then you get little streaks of traction where you can get one wheel to put power down, and the Honda diff does it. Only saw one car off the road. It was a Nissan.
An Altima, naturally.
Of course, yep.
Hot Boy Altima 2. It was a 2-door.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it spun in a straight line into the snowbank.
Yeah, nothing too bad. It was just like they're gonna have to dig.
Yeah, they're gonna dig.
We're not in a position to, we don't have equipment, nor do we have the ability to tow with the Integra. So
we don't have any recovery gear.
You can already see, why didn't you help them?
Yeah. If we had the 4Runner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the ticket.
But the Integra's done very well on this journey, considering it was pretty snowy, pretty icy. Didn't have any issues going up hills. It's been comfortable.
We're here.
Yeah, these seats feel great.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, it's been a solid 2.5 hours.
I'm like trying to keep my knee elevated, just because that's the thing that the internet told me to do. And I've got, you know, plenty of leg room back here. It was good to go.
35 miles to the gallon. Tedward's excited. He's documenting.
This is what we came for, man.
Yeah.
I see railing, so we gotta be close.
This is,
Look at this.
Tom's reaction.
I've never been here. Oh, my God. This is so cool. Holy shit, it is grand. Oh
It's
my
so
God.
grand.
You guys, it's so grand. Look at this. What? This is nuts.
This one I feel like would give you more.
There we go. Check those out. Make sure you like it first.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Like Sedona was incredible, and now we got this. Oh, this is the most terrifying of all heights things that I've been on ever. I know I'm like really doing some goofy stuff here for the YouTube. But what? I'm not going any close. Who would go that close? What the hell is wrong with people? Chris, don't. I am not okay with that. I cannot tell your wife what happened.
Finally, smooth pavement. Tedward planning out the next pass.
Driving me nuts, man.
Is there enough space?
There's 3 cars, and like, could I? Yes. Now it's too late, but still, it's just frustrating because I really want it, and I can have it, but I want to do it safely, so I'm just holding off. I'm being prudent, being nice.
Meantime, we have a beautiful sunset.
Lots of good colors. It's coming off, it's reflecting off of the hills on the left as well, like the pinks and stuff over there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
One more thing that I forgot to mention with the Integra Type R is fuel range on the Integra and the SI is really, really good. Type R, I'm getting under 300 miles to a tank.
I can do about 350 to 370, but it's because I drive a lot of highway, so I managed to get about 29 to 30 miles per gallon.
Yep. I'm getting like 24 to 26 with a mix of city, maybe even a little less. But this Integra, almost 400 miles to a full tank, and we average, what, 37 miles to the gallon to the Grand Canyon and back?
Yep.
Not bad, not bad at all.
Currently, over the last like 20 miles, I've done 46.9.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that'll be a wrap on this video. It's been a fun day. Any final thoughts?
Grand Canyon's big.